What's up guys, the Hunted Reaper here, and today's video is all about Battlefield 1. In today's video, I take one of the worst classes in the game and use it so well that guess what? We win the match because of it. And I want you guys to know that any class in Battlefield 1 is an amazing class, and it's how you make of it. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to influence the battlefield with nothing but a pistol and a dash of some awesome. Be very, very quiet. We're infiltrating an enemy base. So first off, I feel like that just being in a plane in the beginning of a match is cool, but what I like to do is just fucking destroy the plane. I don't even care about the plane because half the time, first off, I'm not even a good pilot, and then also, like, most of the time you can't really influence the battle as much in the beginning by using a plane. So what I do is I immediately jump off that plane and go straight into enemy lines. And I'm not going to where everyone wants to take. I'm going into like the further away objectives. The objectives that no one's really paying attention to, and I'm making sure my squad gets in there. It's really important that you're in a squad in Conquest. I feel like people, you know, you're like, what the fuck? Obviously, you're supposed to be in a squad, but like, especially in the beginning, make sure you're in a squad because it helps a lot when multiple enemies are trying to destroy things from afar and you're trying to take an objective. You could take it much quicker. Now, obviously, this is all kind of obvious. I'm just showing you guys, you know, what I like to do, especially in Conquest Assault or any of the Conquest maps. But what I really tend to try to do is fortify and make sure that my team spawns on an objective and then move immediately to the next objective when I see no enemies are in the current objective. A lot of the times I see people immediately taking an objective, collecting the points, rubbing their nipples, and then right after, you know, it gets taken by another enemy. What I like to do is make sure the objective is fortified, we have a presence there, and then I move on to the next objective when I see that this objective is safe for the most part. For the most part, you're not really gonna have an objective a whole match. You're not gonna be able to hold an objective the whole match for the most of the time. But making sure you have the objective secured before you leave it is a really intelligent decision when it comes to trying to win a match. And in this match, I was really trying to influence the whole match rather than get points for myself. And I know you're like, wait, you're just capturing objectives with a pistol, you piece of shit. You're not shooting anyone and stuff like that. But I feel like Battlefield rewards people for playing the objective. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm consistently playing the objective. And also, what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to stay away from where the enemies are a lot of. Like, where there's a big battle, you generally don't see much space being taken. Like, let's say you're on Amiens, right? And you have two buildings, and those adjacent buildings are fighting for each other. And one building is A and one building is B. And there's like 40 enemies on each side. They're fucking each other up. People are getting kills left and right. Explosions, Battlefield 1 at its best. But guess what? You're not really taking an objective. You're just fighting against enemies. It's basically just people shooting at each other. So why being an infiltrator is awesome is because you can go around the map and take objectives as you see fit. And it's basically about picking the right objectives. And if you see in this gameplay, I usually don't die. I die once in this class. I mean, I don't really die once. I die twice, but that's after I give a shit. I'm not even going to show you guys that gameplay because it was the last 2 minutes of the gameplay. But I actually don't die for the majority of the match with this class. This class is my class for most of the match. And why I think that's awesome is because I can take any class and make sure that it stays alive. It also gets a lot of points, it helps the team, and I'm consistently helping my squad spawn in better places. Being on the inside of enemy lines and not making a big presence to yourself is an awesome way to win a battle without even being, you know, in the battle itself. A lot of the times, Battlefield 1 matches will be won by the people on the inside instead of the people fighting on the outside. Kinda like actual fucking war. So, I think Battlefield does it pretty well like that. Little side note here, I completely fucking hate the coastal gun. Way to take one of the nicest guns in the game, like, it looks so cool, and then just immediately after, only limit its field of view to, like, the sea. I can't even shoot anyone in the game. I mean, I'm so off topic here, but, like, it's just, it's a pet peeve, because the first time I saw this fucking gun, I was like, this is the coolest thing in the game, and then I used it for, like, 30 minutes straight, and I got one kill, and I was so fucking bored that, like, I'm just going to continue with the gameplay. That was just me ranting on about something that really just annoys me. Now, one of the tactics I use for combat, especially when playing as a class with underpowered weapons or something like that, especially with this gun, what I like to do is I like to engage the enemy when they're not looking, and if for any reason they, manage to find cover like this little douchebag right here, I run away. Because guess what? I'm not equipped properly to handle these conflicts or confrontations. So what I do instead is I maneuver myself around as an infiltrator would, and I kind of take the position from another place. All while, my teammates are kind of drawing attention from other places. So while I do like my squad to spawn near me, afterwards I try to get away from them to make sure that I'm not in the battle and in the insane battle, and I'm making sure that I'm staying hidden and staying alive for the most part. Having squad mates are good sometimes, especially when you're taking positions, but knowing when to diverge from them and do your own thing is a definite plus. So flanking is a must, but what I like to do instead of just normal flanking is I like to take the longest possible way around if I see a lot of enemies. So if there's an objective that's getting shitted on from one area, I don't want to just make a slight aversion. I want to completely avoid the area so where the enemies aren't even seeing me. Because in Battlefield, there's a lot of types of weapons and a lot of types of people trying to shoot at people. And a lot of those people are snipers, and snipers can see a lot more than you can. Whether you think that you're safe or not is complete bullshit in this game, because guess what? You're fucking not. There's probably a sniper looking at you 24/7, and you should always think of it as that. It's gonna help you save yourself a lot of the times, because a lot of the times people just get killed by snipers, and they're like, what the actual fuck? I thought I was doing well. When in fact, you're not really playing the game well, because guess what? You're not looking at the snipers, you're not seeing where they are, you're not understanding where the bullets are coming from, and as soon as you could look at the map and say, okay, the snipers are perched up there, which means they have a field of view of this whole map. Instead, you want to, find areas where snipers can't hit you. Think like a sniper, think like a support person, think like an assault person, and maybe you'll survive a whole match without even dying. I mean, I did it, I'm not trying to say that. I died I died 15 minutes into the match, and it was I think we were at 936 tickets, so it didn't really fucking matter. For the most part, I influenced the game as much as I could at that point. But it's just about the amount of work you put into understanding everything around you. Now, when you're taking an objective as an infiltrator, someone who doesn't have that many guns or doesn't have that much ammo, or honestly is underpowered compared to the overall force of the enemy at the position, what you want to do is make sure you get the right, basically, you get it from the right angle. You kind of survey the position, especially with spotting in Battlefield. You can definitely kind of mark the enemies, have your, snipers or other teammates try to find the enemies, and create a point of attack by marking the enemies as well. So what you're going to want to do is start marking the enemies like crazy, and you don't even have to shoot at them, just mark them a lot, and what'll happen is people will generally start to try to attacking them. And also, that guy just fucked up a lot. Look at this, boom, idiot, dumbass, you tried to charge and you got killed. But so people will generally come towards what you start marking, and you can get to see sort of an attack or something happen on the objective. And without dying, what you can do is kind of use your infiltrator skills that I taught you guys before and go around, maneuver, and take the rest of the area from the back without even being noticed. So that's how you influence a battle. You make sure that you can spot the enemies, kind of gather attention towards where you want to go, make an offense, and then go around that offense and take the objective from its ass. And that's a great tactic to use for every single game, but especially in Battlefield, when you can kind of steer the battle in the direction that you want, depending on how good or how well you spot people. And you see right here, I was spotting a bunch of people, and now there's an offensive happening at Objective F. And there was 3 or 4 people in the beginning, and now there's fucking 1,000, and yes, I go back into the coastal cannon because it's just so fun to use. Why the fuck can't we play this fucking game and have a fucking coastal cannon that fucking works? I'm getting off topic, but I bring back the coastal cannon 2018. That's what they got. They gotta have a match with just a bunch of coastal cannons perched outside like a house, just breaking the fuck out of shit. I just keep getting off topic every time I see a coastal cannon, and it just depresses me. But yeah, if you guys use those tactics, you should be in a better place than you were, especially when you're underarmed and stuff like that. Especially in places like this. I know, like, here I'm going with the enemies. I'm going with my teammate. I'm going with the general populace. And as you can see, I almost get killed by an airplane. Especially when you go with most of the people, what happens is you get killed with most of the people. Your death doesn't... What happens to your deaths is it becomes a chance of luck rather than a chance of skill, especially when you're with most of your teammates. Because what happens is people start lobbing grenades in, and even the most skilled fucking players in the world couldn't get out of it. It's not how you assault, it's not how you defend, it's who you stick with and where you are. And it's basically a skill, you know, it's basically luck once in a while, but you can kind of steer that luck in the right direction if you know what you're doing. So I know this game's been out for about 1.5 years now, and you know, you're not really going to be caring about a video on how to be better at the game, but I feel like it's an awesome kind of diversion, and I feel like a lot of people aren't like doing that as much anymore. And now that the game is fully fledged out and there's many maps and, you know, everything has really changed in the game because of the fact of the new weapons, the new maps, the new guns, the new playstyles. I feel like having constant updates on how to be a good player is a really good thing to have, especially when, you know, things are constantly changing like that. So if you guys enjoyed this video, continue to watch The Hunted Reaper. I have Destiny 2 videos, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds videos. I might even do some Fortnite if people ask me. I'm not really a big fan of Fortnite, but I'll fucking do it, who cares. A bunch of other videos. Also, Crackdown 3, I do a lot of those videos, and I know it's not out yet, but I try to report constantly in that game because I'm looking fucking forward to Crackdown 3. Hopefully it even comes out without being delayed, but, you know, you can watch that on my other videos. So without further ado, I want you guys to have a great day. Continue to watch, subscribe, like, leave a comment, and keep watching The Hunted Reaper. I don't know how many times I'm going to say it before I just end the video. I'm drawing the shit out right now. Let's see how long I can draw it out for.